Fari Hamzei. We're going to dial him in live and see what Fari is doing out in Chicago. We are dialing him, waiting for Watch Commander.
Yes. You think he's going to say Watch Commander or Kneecap?
Kneecap, you got it, Joel. It's Kneecap. We had a bet going whether it was going to be Watch Commander or Kneecap.
Well, I got promoted. Kneecap, you have to be Air Force 4-star general to run Kneecap. Yeah, it's different than Watch Commander, young man.
Oh,
you gotta get with the program, Taylor.
Kneecap is better than Watch Commander.
Well, Kneecap is technically the de facto president in case Air Force One goes down.
Oh, okay. We always learn so much from Fari about real world things too, not just the stock market. Fari Hamzei, I've got to ask you first here. Did you see these allegations of this trader and that this one trader with his layering algorithm caused the flash crash? Yeah. Are you buying that?
Well, hold on. I don't know all the facts. I'm not privy to everything all the prosecutors have in London,
right?
And including this infamous by now spreadsheet. But I did tweet it last night live as it came out. I just happened to come back and we were doing some audio checks. We're upgrading some of our audio, including Ethan and all that stuff from Florida, to pipe into our audio system live. So there was programmers were doing some work. I came back to see where they are, and of course, my machines always have extra monitors. So I said, "What's going on with the news?" With having 3 interviews a week, you constantly have to read and be, up to date. People don't invite me here because of my good looks. They want to know what I know and how do I analyze it, especially with this stuff overseas. There's that confluence. So as I was reading stuff about Iran and U.S., this thing pops, boom, on Bloomberg. So I start digging in. Actually, I went to a second piece first, which was more technical. And I said, And then I remember a conversation I had with one of the executives of CME over a couple of cold ones over here at, I think it was a Ceres. Yeah, it was Ceres, which is a watering hole for all the CBOT traders. Back in 2009, and I asked a simple question. Why don't you guys cancel, are you with me? Remove from PIQ. You know what the PIQ is? Position in the queue. PIQ is position in the queue. When you see your dome, your ladder, or a trade station called the matrix, you see what the bids and asks are? I said, why don't you remove from your PIQ your canceled orders? Because here's what it is. If you use a TT, which is trading technologies, you could see your own order, okay? Except that include in the ranking as it gets close to get executed, but it also includes the cancels. So this thing moves a lot faster because the ones that are canceled are not going to be traded; they're canceled already. So it gets your trade fast. I asked them, "Hey, you're CME, your largest exchange. 80% of futures trades on one of the CME exchanges, whether it's NYMEX or it's London that you're getting involved with. Back then, they were just getting involved with London. He was an executive. He was a friend of mine. We had a couple of cold ones. Well, I took him to a corner. And I said, listen, why don't you get rid of the cancels so I know net where my position is? And he says, Fari, I don't know. I said, you have all the servers. You're not out of cash. You're not tight on cash. Nobody makes the money you guys do. Your stock is all-time high. Why can't you get rid of the cancels? Because why? The orders on both sides, either bid or ask, are fatter, bigger. Look, had they done that, we wouldn't have a little shrimp like this guy trying to make $40 million.
Yeah.
And illegally, yeah. Because both sides are fatter. So you don't, even today, they still haven't done that. The PIQ, the position in the queue, is not net. It's the worst case. You see my point? It's a worst case because you have a timestamp down to a millisecond, okay, and you got market orders. So it's trying to do matching 24/6. We're off on Saturdays. Okay, Murray doesn't like to trade on Saturdays. Okay, so 24/6 we're live. In that period, this machine runs it. Well, just change the algorithm. Just get rid of the cancels. So I know net where we are. Now, by the way, have you noticed the last 2 or 3 days? It's been so thin. Have you looked at? I don't know if you had a chance or not. I know you guys trade the spoos, but have you seen how thin spoos ladders have been last couple of days?
Do you think that there's other traders doing the same type of tactic? Do you think there's other traders doing layering tactics? Yeah, I do too.
Absolutely,
I think it's very prevalent.
Yeah, I was talking to Brad First of all, I was talking. Here, let me tell you the story of that day. Okay, I almost got wiped out. Okay, I did, and a good friend of mine almost got wiped out. Actually, he happened to come back because I grabbed him on the cell phone. I mean, I called him. He was on 90 going to see one of his horses. You get traders, you got a little extra money. You need tax write-offs, right? He said, I'm going to see my horses. I said, no, you're not, Brad. Get back off the freeway, in your seat. I'll talk to you when you get there. He goes, hey, what's wrong? Well, you never talk to me like this. I said, don't talk to me. Go. I'll talk to you. When he gets there, he calls in and says, what's wrong? I said, look at the damn bid and ask. We're moving one full dollars at a time. Okay? We're doing like 11:06, 11:05, 11:04, come back to 06, 11:03. When you trade like that, you know something wrong is coming. You're not going tick by tick. You're going full dollars, or maybe $2 at a time. Okay? This is pre-drop. And then he says, oh, my God. And anyhow, it starts rolling, and he shaved off. At the bottom, he was down $5 million. All right? Wow. Now, I don't tell you the size. Don't get me wrong. I'm small. But he's a big guy. He came back on a reversal, okay, and he's in our chat room. So he runs one of my chat rooms himself. Back then we had only one big chat room. He was in there, we were headsets all and everything. We came back 12 million. So he made a 7 million gain. Now, he actually saved me down there, because when he reversed, he says, "Are you still short?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Are you out of your mind?" I said, "I'm hedged." He goes, "Forget about your hedge. You need to get long down here. It's about it." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I just doubled down. This is happening instantly." So I said, "Okay, well, if Brad is doubling down, he's going up, I'm going up." All right. I reversed. I mean, I came into the getting wiped out. I mean, in the sense that I would not be able to trade again of any size, okay? But we had three guys that were with Tinker Swim. They froze. Their orders got stuck. Stuck, they couldn't touch it because the machines went down. Tinker Swim went down. Trade Station was down. I mean, it was slowed to like maybe 30 seconds behind. I don't trade on Trade Station. I use Trade Station. Interactive had maybe one hiccup. There was one second you kind of felt it's frozen, came back. Trade Station was behind. Infinity. I mean, don't even let me talk about Infinity. But a bunch of they had increased the margin. I'm sorry, they lowered the margin by 80% 2 days before. So they went from a 2,000 intraday to 500. Do you know how irresponsible that is? From like 2,500, about 2,500 to 500. And the talk in the room was, "Hey, Fari, you got to be trading Infinity. You can look how much you can trade." I said, "Guys, that's a double-edged sword. Be careful. What are you talking about? What most large traders shy too much leverage. What are you talking about?" And this was on like a Tuesday. Flash crash was on a Thursday. These guys basically had margin calls that day, and they were done. They never came back to my room.
Flash
because
crash
they pretty froze, and the margins were 5-1.
Yeah. Flash crash did wipe out a few people, so some people definitely got hurt by it. But I just find it hard to believe that one guy sitting on a couch would cause the entire market to evaporate, all the liquidity to evaporate. I mean, if one guy sitting on a couch can really do that, we have some serious market structure issues.
Exactly. Hey, he's a patsy. He's a patsy. There's no question about it. There's a lot of them who are doing that. I know a lot of trades constantly put on the trades they don't really need. As it gets close to execution, they cancel. For CME, this is my problem with CME. I said, guys, I teach with these guys, so I have to be careful what I say or what I do. But in general, I said, guys, this is something that we need to be clear-cut about. Look, you're always going to have your trades. You're still going to get your buck or 50 cents, whatever they make on each trade that goes through as exchange fee, but you make it, or maybe I don't know, maybe now it's a little bit smaller, but they have a cut of every trade. You always win as exchange, just because your instrument is being traded, and you have such a volume there. Okay, so my point to you is, you just try to give us a decent data. You know, why is it all of a sudden my order is not executed, and then all of a sudden jumps in and gets executed? Well, because the orders were in between. Most likely they were fictitious. Somebody pulled them last minute.
A lot of fake orders.
I don't know when they pulled them. Only CME knows.
A lot of fake orders in this market. I think the majority of your liquidity out there is, floating liquidity, or it's orders, that, yeah, I'll be executed at 47 if the price is at 50, but if it goes down to 48, I'm going to cancel that order. There's envelope orders out there. A lot of different orders, a lot of reasons for canceling orders there. And I think layering is very prevalent. Let's move on, though, because we only got you for another 5 minutes here, Fari. We haven't talked any stocks with you yet. Let's talk tonight.
Well, two stocks are off the limit.
Okay,
Google and Amazon.
Google, Amazon.
Google and Amazon off limits.
You won't talk Google and Amazon. You got some secret strategies.
Yeah, because they're coming up. I remember what happened with Netflix with that yo-yo.
That's crazy. Yeah. So okay. So you know what about? Yeah, I know. Yeah, the guy just complained.
We have too many shrimps out there.
You said you were a little bit bearish or something.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I said I had raised the right also to look at the other side, possibly a lotto trade. I said a half an hour to go, an hour to go is where you look at these things.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always something.
I mean, it's taped. No, best part of it is that you guys taped this thing. They can go back and listen to themselves. And then later on, he apologized. As I say, in the Navy, there's a lot of shrimp in the sea.
Facebook tonight. Will you talk about Facebook report here tonight?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, sure. Okay. Absolutely. We do Reg FD. We're long a spread. Okay. We're long a call. I'm sorry, a call spread. So we're bullish, moderately, and I can't give you the exact trade out because we're still we're in the trade and the numbers are not out yet. But there we go. These are May. Yeah, these are May. We're not doing weeklies. Here's the problem. Vols are very high. If you look at the vol contour or three-dimensional wall space, if you look at it, vols for SB are much higher than peer group, with the maybe exception of Twitter. And so there's a good chance, as you know better than I do, having traded on exchange, on the option side, you'll know what you may gain on X minus S in a Black-Scholes model. That is in the money versus out of money. You could lose on MIV, the market implied volatility. Once they juice this too far up. So you got to be realistic on which spread you want to look at, what size you want to put on, given especially when you trade with somebody else too, not just your own. You trade with somebody else. You got to understand their risk appetite. You just can't go out there, especially if you have a streak of I think we have one trade that's bad, which is American Express. A couple of trades we took halfway out. It wasn't working, so we took it out. We didn't wait to get to expression. Everything we've hit. When you start hitting in a row, the problem is everybody thinks you walk on water, and they could close their eyes and jump in. So we do give their usual caveats and so forth. As a matter of fact, one of the guys I have as my extra eyes looking at the order before it goes out is Piers Hendy, which I believe you guys are interviewing on Thursday, I believe. He's on your roster. I have extra eyes on the order as being developed because we use Google Docs, Google Sheets. So it's collaboration. The team, not the traders, but the team is looking at what I'm trying to put out, double-checking my order and all that. He goes in to put in, and his background is Series 7, so his background is coming in to make sure, Safe Harbor Act, I'm not going too crazy on the language. And it's reasonable, and has got reasonable cautions. On FB, we had to give him a bunch of cautions, saying, guys, don't go crazy on this. I know probably we're going to see all-time high. Probably going to hit out of the ballpark. And it's a strong stock. Look what happened last time. You just have to be careful with this stock. I like it. I think they could do a little bit better with their privacy rules, but my job is not that. My job is trade the options. Volatility is a little bit higher, but you get what you pay for. Look at Netflix. Murray is very happy with Netflix. And we did not by the way, Netflix was not really technically a lotto. We did not, because I burned before with them. Remember? I said before,
yeah.
I've been burned by Netflix too many times. I came in a little bit cautious. I did not did my usual, like a second trade lotto, which I really, really wanted to on other terms, which I will do for Google. For example, tomorrow, I'll put a trade in for usual suspects, if you will, in my chat room, and then I will put a lotto trade, call that as lotto, and also tell them this is not for everyone. I will remind them it's not everyone. Guess what? They all want to jump on that. But usually those also have a hard time to get filled. One of the difficulties of lotto trades people don't realize Because they keep on writing to me saying, give us another large trade, give us another large trade. Listen, a lot of trades, you really don't have a lot of liquidity. You're going to be lucky to get filled. Last time, we did a huge large trade with Google, a year and a half ago? Half of my traders did not get in. Guess what? Next day, those were the half, they were upset. So.
Yeah, it's tough to get executed. You got to get those orders. Give yourself a little bit of time. Just looking at a couple issues today. Had some nice pre-market ranges. Never really talked about Yahoo with you here. Kind of a mixed bag here. Went down.
It's time for Marisa to update her CV, as I said last night to her. I have a lot of friends at Yahoo. Don't get me wrong. Not that level, but working level. Especially in New York, office of Yahoo, like Michael Santoli and Aaron Tasker and so forth. These are all good guys, but I'm afraid the best days of Yahoo is behind them. Baba came in and gone. I think the original brouhaha of Marisa joining was great, but I just don't see how Yahoo can compete with somebody like Google. I just don't see it. And so in terms of depth and in terms of energy and resources. And so I think the best days are over. So we didn't play. We did not touch Yahoo. We haven't touched Yahoo, I'd say 6-8 earnings now. There's a lot of better places you can play.
Okay. All right.
What else?
Biogen.
How did Boeing do?
Boeing has been all over the map as well. Dennis, I don't know if you have the numbers, and headline numbers must be good because we spiked up here over 156, and then we've come right back down to earth here in Boeing. We had a pre-market high of 156.57.
Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah.
All the way down to 150. I guess got a little bit, instead of getting caught up and trying to trade it today, maybe just take a look at this, support, maybe draw a trend line here, and you definitely have resistance at 155. Looks like it could go anywhere between 145 and 155 today.
Well, the wirehouse bulls out there are calling for 170. Well, they're always, some of these guys go really crazy in their outreach. We have a call spread above 155. I'll leave it at that. So we're out of money. Doesn't look good, but these are Mays. And we did not do both legs. We did them on IBM, and it's not working. And here's the reason with IBM. The move was too small. We put a strangle spread up, okay, to call spread and put spread. But the move was not big enough. And so we've got we can't repair that. Having that, you compare Boeing to IBM in terms of volatility. Again, surface. The volatility surface says don't even think about doing a strangle. It's actually not a strangle technically, but call spread and put spread for BA. It won't happen. So we may just have to roll it out and wait to come back. I do think they're a tremendous powerhouse, having worked with them at Northrop. But there's a bad news last week. They were saying there was no jumbo jet orders. Well, nobody's trying to go jumbo jets. If you look at what the other profile, the orders are coming in, they have zillions of orders. I think they're booked for next 15 years maybe of orders. And biggest one is China. So I'm, I think it's a great stock. Maybe roll it out a little bit, or maybe roll it down and out. But we'll repair it. It's not a problem.
Okay.
156 is, also remember, you got pre-earnings, you got at earning, and you got post-earning. There are three different plays. So this was at earnings. So we have to deal with post-earnings after, as you say, the dust settles.
Fari Hamzei, founder of Hamzei Analytics, who joins the show every Wednesday, bringing his wealth of knowledge on aggressive equity options and futures trading. Fari, a pleasure as usual. Thanks for joining in on our HFT talk. We'll be with you again next Wednesday.